Fantastic. Welcome, everybody, to the Red Cup Review. I'm your host, Rob Banks. As always, it's Saturday night, and I hope you guys are ready to get a big hammer smashed over your head with the amount of stuff that was released this week. I am joined by Baz. Say what's up.
Hey guys. Red Cup Review live, son.
That's right. We are live. Okay, so we're going to kick off the episode by talking about something that not directly affected us, but indirectly affected both Baz and I, and kind of affects all of us in one way or another. A gentleman by the name of Josh Glavin, who's a fellow action figure collector, and he's in a lot of these groups. A gentleman, he was involved in a hit and run car accident, and it pretty much kind of broke him down. He's now struggling to walk. He's having multiple surgeries. He's going to different doctors and stuff like that. And he's in the chat room. So what's up, Josh? How's it going? Just talking about you. He has a GoFundMe page, but what I want everybody to do, if they have time, to go and check out his page on Facebook, which has the links to everything, and that's at Justice for JRG. That's JUSTICE for FORJRG. And that'll give you his whole story, and I'll let his story kind of tell itself. But he was involved in a hit and run, and it's an unfortunate situation. He is a fellow collector, and what struck me as what made me want to kind of like shout this out and talk about this on the air was the fact that he's actually he has a GoFundMe page, and he's struggling with coming to terms with what happened to him as far as monetarily and things like that, but he's actually trying to get the law changed for hit and runs, because the guy kind of didn't get away with being locked up the way he should have. The gentleman that gave him the hit and run, they caught the guy, apparently. I hope I'm getting this right. And he's actually fighting to get the law changed, I believe, or bring as much awareness to this as possible. So go check out Justice, FORJRE on Facebook, and check out his story, and then you can find his GoFundMe page and everything like that. And that's Josh. Okay, rock on, brother. Okay, we have somebody else in the room. Marlicia, what's up? She gives the wave, or he gives wave. I'm sorry, I have the laptop is on the other side right now. I can't really see that far. Maybe I need to get my glasses checked. But welcome to the chat room nonetheless. Okay, what's going on, Baz? How was the week for you?
Pretty good. Had nice weather in Florida. I know you guys heard of what was it? Hurricane Michael was his name.
Yeah, how was that?
It came through here, but it was on the other side of us. I'm in Miami, so it hit like the Panhandle and I think Tampa, and then it moved up.
I hear you got a new YouTube page.
Yes, I do. The Source Wall with Baz. So check it out. I got 2 whole videos up.
Yes, I watched both of those videos. He does a breakdown, right? You did like an action figure review breakdown.
Yeah.
One of them. Like a haul. So I know a lot of people like hauls, so go check out the Source Wall with Baz on YouTube after the show.
You got a Titans review up there too.
Oh, we are going to be talking about the Titans. We want to get a close look on your review. Here's something really funny that happened right before I started the show. Andy Sue, gentleman I know, Andy Sue, who is the owner and operator of Asmus Toys. That's these figures right back here, the Lord of the Rings figures. He put a picture up on his private page of this figure back here, the Indiana Jones DX05, laying down on the table with its belt completely disintegrated and fell apart. Now, the DX05 is a hot toy, and you got the guy from Asmus, right, with his hot toy up, and the belt's just shredded, ripped to pieces. And he has, like, the memes of, like, the little faces of, like, the cryy faces, and, oh, my God, for a $250 toy, what the hell's going on? I wrote to him, yo, man, it really sucks, but it's just funny that it happened to happen, because Hot Toys gets a lot of flack for some of their leather flaking, especially on a lot of their older stuff. And Asmus, they got good figures, but what they really, really do well is their clothing. The clothing on the Asmus figures is really, really well done, and it's very sturdy and very durable. I just thought it was kind of funny that he would have his DX05 fall apart on him. Meanwhile, his company is well known for having really durable like material for his Lord of the Rings figures. All right, so Josh Glavin, one day I will get the Daredevil. Had him once, sold him, shouldn't have. Yes, this Daredevil is the Mezco Daredevil. I have him flipping upside down right now. Let's get into one of the topics this week of pop culture, right, Baz? Wasn't the Daredevil season 3 trailer released?
Yes, it was. Did you see it? The one with Bullseye?
I watched it once, and I called you because you're like, yo, Bullseye's on Daredevil now. You got to check it out. And I was like, all right, not everybody knows I'm not a big fan of the Marvel Netflix stuff. Not really. I love the Daredevil. I kind of liked season 1. I really fell in love with season 2 because of all the guest appearances. You had Elektra, Punisher, yada, yada. And season 3's coming back, and Baz hits me up, and he's like, yo, you got to check it out. They have Bullseye in it, right? So I watch the trailer and go, well, where the hell's Bullseye? So he says it's the guy wearing the Daredevil costume. So Daredevil apparently in this season is back in his black outfit, which to me I was just shaking my head when I heard about that because I want to see the heroes in their friggin' hero costumes. I don't like if he's just Matt Murdock in a black jumps, sweatpants. Like it's stupid to me. These guys are heroes. I want to see heroes.
Yeah, but you don't know the storyline, dude. You don't know the storyline of why he's in that black outfit.
Right, I don't. So please educate me.
Okay, and also at the end, spoilers, at the end of The Defenders, Matt Murdock went on some sort of suicide mission type thing, and he almost died. So he's coming back from being almost killed. I'm unsure, but I also believe that this is adapted from the Born Again storyline from Daredevil, the Frank Miller Born Again, where I think Kingpin, he finds out that Daredevil is Matt Murdock, and he destroys his entire life and everything and all that stuff. So
nice.
And that may have something to do with him wearing the black outfit again or something. And
so he's back in the black outfit. Okay, fine. Makes perfect sense. I'm down. I like Vincent D'Onofrio's version of the Kingpin. Like I said, I like Daredevil's, the season 1, season 2, right? So where's Bullseye? He's wearing the Daredevil outfit. Well, why the hell is Bullseye wearing the Daredevil outfit? Because they're framing him, right?
Right, they're framing him.
So basically, Daredevil season 3 is using the plot line for Batman Returns.
Kind of, but I think that's also it's the plot line for Born Again.
Daredevil killed the Ice Princess. We're gonna frame him. So I'm waiting for Vincent D'Onofrio to say that, right? We're gonna frame him.
No, but there was another trailer. I don't think you saw it. They actually show Bullseye where he's just like a regular looking dude, and he's I think he's an ex armed forces guy. And he's slowly, something is going on with his life, and he's slowly going crazy. And then he turns into kind of Bullseye. So you're going to see kind of an origin story of Bullseye in this.
All right. So you'll see Bullseye's origin story. He'll be audience man for 5 episodes. Then he'll be dressed as Daredevil for 3 or 4 episodes. And then at the very end, before the credits roll, you'll get him in his costume. Like you'd had to do.
Did you see Punisher?
I only saw the first episode of Punisher. I know. Because the Punisher in the first episode takes his outfit off and burns it. Look, what's up with Marvel in the Netflix? As good as they're made and as nice as they're done, we get it. I know everyone's on Marvel Netflix's Johnson. Why is it that in the movie universe, in the movie cinematic universe, which is also part of this universe, they have no problem putting characters in superhero outfits and they look great and all that good stuff. And for some reason in the TV shows, they are embarrassed by what their characters look like doing heroic things dressed as heroes for some reason. It's so for Netflix, everyone has to be dressed in jeans and leather jackets and sweatpants. But in the movies, they could be heroes. To me, it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I get it because, in the Defenders, Daredevil kind of stands out. He's the one guy wearing an outfit, and everyone else is in regular clothes. I get it. Looks weird.
This is Daredevil.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch the Defenders either. I know you. I couldn't sit again. I had a rough time with the first season of Daredevil. It was good. It's well made. It's quality. We know. Foggy Nelson, 3 episodes having dinner with the blonde chick and the old lady in the apartment house. Boring. Then season 2 came around. I saw the Punisher was going to be an Elektra, jumped on it, loved it to death. And then I was watching the trailers for all these other shows, and I don't care about Jessica Jones. I'm sure the Purple Man was a great villain. I hear about how great that first season was, but I don't really care about her as a character. Never did in the comics. Luke Cage is cool to me only when he's with Iron Fist, and Iron Fist to me is only cool when he's with Luke Cage. So to me, they should have just did a Heroes for Hire TV show. And then they did the Defenders, and I was kind of hyped for that. And then I heard just mad negative reviews of people like, don't even waste your time. I was hyped that Sigourney Weaver was in it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just done. Time is too precious for me to be spending hours upon hours watching these shows, hoping for 1 or 2 cool fight scenes amongst, 20 episodes. So I'm kind of done with all that.
Writes, I trust Netflix with Daredevil, not the rest. Perfect Kingpin choice. Yes. Okay. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is excellent.
Again, he was in the first season as he was building up to Kingpin. I was kind of like, where are they going with this? And then by the end, I really liked him, and I loved him in the jail in season 2. And now that he's in the white outfit too, right? Isn't he in like the white outfit in the season 3 trailer? Like he's walking around with like the white blazer. I thought I saw. So and he's just a big dude to begin with. Vincent D'Onofrio was just a big friggin' dude. And it's funny how you get characters like that. Now, I've seen this in some of the chat rooms, like, oh, but he's not big enough. And it's like, well, how big does a character have to be? Bane's never big enough, because apparently all of a sudden Bane now, ever since a few artists drew him, this hulking size Bane has to be big. Now, Vincent D'Onofrio is like 6'4". The guy's like 300 pounds. How much bigger is he supposed? What are they supposed to CGI a fat suit onto this guy? It's ridiculous. He looks a certain way in the comics, and you got to realize that nobody looks like that in real life, and you're not going to CGI a human being. So for those people that don't think it fits or he's not big enough, you need to just kind of get over it, because we live in the real world. And if you want to see real world representation, you kind of just got to go with it once in a while. Okay, so anything else to say about the Daredevil? Do you have any type of expectations for this show? Because we're going to move on.
Well, I heard good things about it, so I'm sure it's going to be excellent. I loved season 1. I love season 2. So.
Staying with the Netflix thing, it looks like Iron Fist was canceled. Yay! Whatever. I don't. Yeah, this is your part of the show, because I have no rooting interest in this. I didn't watch any of the Iron Fist. I heard it was terrible. I met the actor with Grayson. He was really nice to him, so cool guy to him. But I hear that he just sucks as Iron Fist. So you tell me.
Fight scenes in season 1 weren't that good. The way they portrayed Iron Fist was kind of lame. He kind of came off as like somebody with like what do they call that? Like a stunted growth, like somebody who stopped maturing at a certain age. Or Arrested Development. There you go. Yeah, he was very like emotional and like very like childlike. So he didn't come off good in the first season. In the Defenders, he was a little bit better, but I don't know, man. I tried watching the first episode of season 2, and I lasted maybe 15, 20 minutes. I never went back to it.
This is the issue with a lot of this stuff, is that, and I hate to sound like a spoiled brat, because I am totally trying to not be spoiled about this type of stuff. Frankie Fearless, it was garbage. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm not going to watch it. So there you go.
I should have just said that.
0 for 2 on them. This time is too precious with the amount of stuff we're getting now. So now we're in the golden age of getting everything we want. There's 100 Star Wars movies. There's 100 superhero movies. There's 1 million superhero TV shows. There's only so much time to go around, especially if you're a parent or if you have a full-time job or whatever, or if you just watch a lot of these shows and you just physically can't watch them all. I'm a big CW guy. Now, I didn't watch any of the last seasons of the CW shows, but at least on the CW shows, you get to see these guys doing super heroic type things. And the CW shows aren't made as well. We get that. Maybe the acting isn't as good. It has a little bit of a 90210 feel. I get that. When I'm watching the CW shows, I'm actually watching Arrow kick ass. I'm watching the Atom turn into a giant and stomp through a town. And, it's for a TV show that's ridiculous. And you catch this every week. Everybody's doing something nuts or crazy heroic, and the stunt work is great. So if I'm going to watch a superhero show, I'm sticking with the CW show stuff. I just also happen to be a bigger DC guy than Marvel, although I do love my Marvel stuff. So it's only so much time to go around. So if you're going to spend any amount of time on this stuff, like you said, you gave it like 15, 20 minutes. And if it's going to be another one of those long hauls, Forget it. Give me 5 episodes of just not nonstop action, because the drama and the talking parts are good when they're dispersed evenly with the action, not 5 episodes of talking and 1 or 2 episodes of action. Sorry. I don't care how great the hallway scene is in the first season of Daredevil. The first season of Daredevil was good, but we had to sit through 3 episodes of Foggy Nelson talking to an old lady in an apartment building. It's ridiculous.
Senor Foggy.
Yeah, Senor Foggy. It was terrible.
Hold on. That's like with Luke Cage. Like, I really liked Luke Cage the first 5 or 6 episodes, and then it just kind of sputtered out for me.
That's like here too. Watch the first 5 episodes and then just jump off. And it's like, well, why the hell am I going to watch 5 episodes of something, even though it's awesome, in order to not get the rest of the story? So to me, I'll just watch highlights. I'll catch highlights on YouTube or something. I'll hear from you. I trust your judgment, Frankie Fearless. I trust his judgment. I'll just, live vicariously through you guys watching shit. Slim Tim reviews. What's up, guy? Daredevil and Punisher are the only good ones. The rest are crap. Well, there you go. Okay, let's see. Well, yeah, I hear the Punisher's good. I may have to just get back on the Punisher because I really did like that first episode. And I love John Bernthal as the Punisher. I think he's great. Okay, moving on from the Netflix stuff. Let's see. Let's talk about real quick Spooktacular. We got about 8 viewers watching with us. Hopefully we'll get some more action figure type guys to join us a little later on, or maybe when they watch the show during the week. Spooktacular is coming up. What is Spooktacular? Okay, Sideshow Toys every year does something called Sideshow Spooktacular for 1 week, the last week of before Halloween. So you get the week leading into Halloween, like this year, Halloween falls on a Wednesday, right? So you got from Wednesday before to the Wednesday of. Yo, Archie, what's up? Archie will be joining us eventually as a guest on this show. For those tuning in, go check out Art G's channel. He's got a great channel, and he's got one of the cleanest collections you'll ever see. Anyways, Sideshow Spooktacular is coming up. But what the hell is Spooktacular? Sideshow does a lot of discounts on all their toys. We know these friggin' things, these hot toys and these Sideshow figures are mad expensive. So now's the perfect time if you want to jump on board and kind of test out the market with some of these things. They do have a lot of discounts on some of their bigger statues. If you're a statue collector, they do discounts on their regular toys that are in stock. And what's so cool about Spooktacular? Well, you want to follow Sideshow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Mostly Twitter, though. And what they'll do is every couple of times a day, they'll release a code word. Now, they'll put up a special page on the Sideshow website where you can enter the code word in. The page doesn't change. You just save the page into your favorites on your phone or on your desktop if you're at work or whatever. And then the code comes out, right? So they'll tweet the code out. But you'll only have anywhere between 5 minutes and 15 minutes or an hour sometimes to enter the code in. You enter the code, you get points. The points translates to money, actual money that you can use on their stuff. And they usually release anywhere between $75 to $151 worth of codes. So 1 year, I think they only gave away like $50, $40 or $50, but most of the time it's between 75 and 100, roughly around there, 120. And you can rack up $120 worth of Sideshow points, and then you can go and get a discounted figure for like 75% off. So Sideshow Spooktacular, for those of you that want to get your hands on some hot toys, or you're kind of unsure because you don't want to spend $250 on an action figure, because even though they look great, Spooktacular is the perfect time to get into that. And the codes expire. So if you don't put in that code in the time frame, boop, you missed out on a $3 code, $5 code, $10 code, sometimes only a $1 code. But it's your chance to rack up points, and the points don't ever go away. So even if there's nothing you actually want, you get involved with Sideshow Spooktacular, you rack up your points, you bank them, and you create a Sideshow account, and then you wait on the points. I've been doing the point system now for 5 years, and I've just been banking and banking and banking. So I got like $300-$400 worth of Sideshow points. This is a good opportunity for you guys, if you guys that are collectors that want to keep collecting, but you kind of want to like let it go a little bit and let it build up. Perfect time to get in. No time like the present. Yep, sometimes a code is only active for 3 minutes. I know. Spooktacular is awesome. There you go. Okay. Speaking of Sideshow...
Hold on. Is there a way to get a notification?
Yes. So this is how the notifications work, right? So you go into like Twitter and Instagram is what they really use. Sometimes Facebook a little bit. But what they'll do is you go onto Twitter, you follow Sideshow Collectibles, right? Now there's a little bell, just like there's a little bell at the top of this thing. Also, I want to mention to everybody, make sure you like the video. As you're watching this, please give me a like, give Baz a like, because it helps the algorithms. Anyways, there's a little bell. You hit the bell, and it'll give you like notifications right to your phone. So what you do is you go into your phone under Twitter and under Instagram, and you go under like liked pages, or like you could actually type in, like I have mine typed specifically just for Sideshow. So anytime Sideshow has a tweet, I actually get it. It goes off. My phone goes off like as if I'm getting a text message with the tweet. So you can set your phone up to do that if you have a smartphone. So you go into your Instagram or your Facebook, both of them. And anytime Sideshow gives an update, you can have it come onto your phone. You only have to do this for a week because it only lasts for a week. And you have it go off every time a code comes out, and the code could be any time during the day. It's not just during operating hours. Sometimes, remember, they're 3 hours behind us on the East Coast. So for those users on the West Coast, it's they're real time. But I have this for this week. This is the week that I go crazy and like lose sleep because I have my phone under my pillow. I'm not joking. So when that buzzer goes off, I wake up out of a sleep. I see the code, boom, boom, boom. It enters, and I go back to bed. Sometimes the codes come at 3, 4 in the morning. Sometimes it's 2, 3 in the afternoon, 8 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. You don't know when they're going to release them. Here's a quick little tip that Sideshow doesn't want you to know. A lot of pages, like the Sideshow Collectibles fan page and 16 Republic, that's OSR, on Facebook, I'll have little groups you can join where you just set the notification on like those little messages. You first of all, you got to join the page. And then you can join into like these threads that people will just release codes. So you click on that thread and you put your updates for that thread on. And then anytime a code's released, you can check your phone periodically throughout the day and you'll see, boom, boom, there's the code for whatever. And sometimes you'll catch it where maybe you didn't get the text from Sideshow. Maybe you were sleeping, or maybe you just happened to check your phone in that minute, and boom, you look on one of these little pages. A lot of these groups do like forums where they'll post the code. So the first person to get it, but boom, oh, we got 3 minutes, we got 10 minutes, enter the code. And the codes will be on like those things. That's like a little insider tip. Okay. RC Robin. Yeah, I see the displays behind you every week. Take a minute and show and tell us what you have back there. Looks cool. RG16 Society Facebook group is also good at posting immediately for you to enter. So there you go, 16 Society Facebook group. As a matter of fact, I think I got to join the 16 Society. I'm not sure if I'm a member there yet. Okay, real quick. We have the Lord of the Rings figures back here from Asmus Toys. Very great quality. The head sculpts could use work. They're really great if you don't compare them to Hot Toys. The clothing quality is fantastic. I'll bust a few of those out. I try to cycle the figures out every week. Like we have R2 out this week. We have the Princess Leia. We're going to get into the reason why I have them out. Talking about Spooktacular, I'm going to get into these figures soon. I never had them on the table before, so every week I try to cycle some new figures. And I have the brand new Darth Vader up here with the old school DX07 clean version of Bespin Luke with the Leia right above my head, and Yoda up in the corner. Okay, these are all Hot Toys mostly, and this is my only Asmus figures. It's my little Lord of the Rings collection in here. Waiting for the Gimli to drop. Gimli should be coming out by the end of the month. All right, I've been talking a lot. I want to get to a more pop culture type stuff. But speaking of Spooktacular, it's really important for you collectors that are watching this to get into the Spooktacular. Why? I actually won on Spooktacular last year. Now, Spooktacular doesn't just release these codes. They also have contests. They have these crazy contests where Sideshow Susan or Sideshow Chicky, you should follow both of them too. The regular Sideshow fan page, and also follow Sideshow Chicky. CHICKY. Sideshow Chicky is also like another one of their two girls that run like the PR for those pages.
What's her name? Side piece Chicky?
So side piece.
Oh.
So follow those two, and they give out like contests and prizes and stuff like that. What type of contests do they do? Well, if you want to see the type of stuff you may have to do for a contest, and the reason why I won last year was one of my earlier videos. I think it was within the first 10 videos I ever did, I contacted Sideshow. I says, I want to sell my soul to Sideshow this year. It's like this thing that they do. So I sold my soul to Sideshow, and they gave me a task, but they were like, all right, look, we're out of ideas. What do you want to do? So I proposed to them an idea. One of my old videos was actually me doing the idea. I actually went to a Halloween store and bought a Batman costume, dressed up like Batman, full Batman costume before Halloween. My son and daughter dressed up, and we walked into Dunkin' Donuts screaming and yelling about how Batman and his troopers were here to buy everyone a cup of coffee. Because that was the thing. I was like, I'm going to do something good for some people. I'm going to walk in there. I'll buy 3 people that are online, or walk in and introduce myself in character the whole time as Batman, and put it on the Bat credit card for those Batman and Robin fans, for the 2 that are in the world. And I submitted the video, and they fell in love with it. They laughed their asses off, and I won Excuse me, burping on the air is not good. I won this right here, a Stormtrooper. I didn't have a Stormtrooper. So they were like, all right, we're going to send you something in the mail. They sent me a Hot Toy Han, the Hot Toy Han in disguise Stormtrooper. I didn't have a Stormtrooper figure, so I turned him. I put the helmet actually on the figure and turned him into a regular Stormtrooper. Then I took the Han Solo head sculpt off and put it on this Han. This Han does not come with this smiling, smirking head sculpt. Take a quick look there. Yay, smiling, smirking Han, right? So this head sculpt was actually from this figure right here. And I actually was able to update this figure, and now I have my Stormtrooper to go along with it. So yes, they do give away Hot Toys as well. So you get discounts on Hot Toys, discounts on stuff. You could become a winner. You got to do some crazy outlandish shit to actually win. But for those of you that want to get a laugh and watch me humiliate myself and make a complete ass out of myself with my kids, go check out one of my earlier videos. It's like a picture of me dressed as Batman with the mask on and everything, walking around buying people coffee in my neighborhood. Okay.
You're out of your mind.
Well, hey, listen, man, I got a $270 toy out of it, so it works for me and it helped promote the page.
Han has that look like, yeah, I fought it, deal with it.
Yeah, the Hot Toy Han head sculpts are hit and miss. A lot of people like them. A lot of people don't like them. Harrison Ford's got a really hard likeness to nail. I happen to like the smirking head sculpt. I think it works best, especially with that, like, hey, what are you gonna do? The thing I got going on with him. So,
he's awesome.
Moving on.
Hold on, is that hand is that loose? It looks like you see the joint a little too much, like that little.
Well, the joint on that's the one thing about Hot Toys is that when they have their sleeves rolled up, when the Hot Toys figures, it's not loose. It's actually it's in there. As a matter of fact, that's in there. Oh wait, look there you go. It was a little loose. Unbelievable. Did not catch that. But you do see the ball joints on a lot of their hands. So anyway, if you really want to look at it, you're gonna see the ball joints.
I used my Superman sideshow vision to detect that.
There you go. So hey, listen, I didn't even see that until you said it, and I was standing right on top of the damn thing. The glasses just ain't working these days. Okay. Anyways, moving on, but still keeping with the theme of Star Wars and a galaxy far, far away. There was some Star Wars news this week. The big rumor mill is starting again. Yay!
I'm going to be dreaming about Spooktacular now because of that segment.
So, yeah, I know. I went on and on. But look, man, we're all collectors here, and not a lot of people know about this stuff. And I've been telling people about this for years, and they're like, I'm never going to win or I'm never going to do this. Look, dude, I've been in it. I actually won 2 years, not 2 years in a row. I won last year for this. Not the year before that, but the year before that. I actually wound up winning like $150 sideshow points package prize. It was like the end of Spooktacular, and they were like, all right, the person that answers this question with the best thing and tweets us, wins something cool. And I tweeted in, and I answered it, and they put me on blast, and I wound up winning like $150 in sideshow stuff. So the chances to win are great. You guys got to understand, sideshow has like 200,000 people following them, right? On various accounts, throughout their various accounts. But how many people are actually paying attention to that stuff? Let's say half. Okay, because a lot of people just follow this stuff, not for prizes, but they follow for, right? So you have, let's say 100,000 people are involved in this stuff. They have contests going on all week long, multiple contests and multiple chances to win. So let's say they have 20 different contests going on and 100,000 people are following, but only, let's say, a quarter of those 100,000 are actually paying attention to this stuff because the people are at work, people here or there. So you only have so many hundred or a couple of thousand people entering each contest. So your chances are really friggin' high. It doesn't sound like your chances are high, but your chances are actually pretty high to win some of this stuff. So get involved.
Oh, yeah. And some of these goddamn figures are, what, $240 now, So every little bit helps.
Archie, I am constantly entering their contests weekly on their website just to see if I win something. Exactly. And every week they put up at least 2 contests to win some of their stuff. I used to do that. Now I've just been like deleting their stuff stupidly. I've been kind of slacking, but yeah, look, man, you got to play the numbers game. It's like going out to a club, right? Like, look, we're all, nerds and geeks in here, but we all like to kind of, get frisky with, our significant others or our ladies at one time or another, right? So look, you go to a club, you got to talk to everybody. You got to throw multiple lines out, so it goes with everything in life. You got to do everything you can to get what you got to get. That goes with, you talk to one girl, she rejects you. Talk to another girl, she rejects you. Eventually, someone's going to say yes. Enter into 20 different sideshow contests. Hey, eventually you're going to win. So it goes with everything in life. All right, enough with the sideshow spooktacular stuff. Let's talk about the Star Wars rumor mill of the week. The Emperor. Will the Emperor be in episode 9? There's a rumor that the Emperor will be coming back. And Ian McDiarmid will be reprising his role as the Emperor in episode 9. But how can the Emperor come back to life? Well, he's actually not coming back to life. There's talks that Kylo Ren goes on hunts for Sith holocrons. And I think this is all complete bullshit. Let me just put this out there first. It's cool to speculate and talk about this stuff, but personally, I think most of these rumors are just straight up bullshit and just something to keep the Star Wars on people's minds and tongues. But that's what we're in. This is the business we're in, folks. So we're going to talk about the rumor of the week. Kylo Ren goes hunting for Sith holocrons. Finds one. Goes into a dark and mysterious cave and activates it. And it's Palpatine talking to him and instructing him on ways of the Sith. So he has a new master from beyond the grave. What do you think, Baz?
Okay, well, I keep hearing about how this movie is the final, installment of all 9 movies, and that it's going to tie in every movie, the prequels, the originals, and the sequels. So it makes sense that they're gonna bring back certain characters that belong in each of those movies. They're gonna bring back characters that belong in the prequels and the original series. So the Emperor or Darth Vader, I'm sure they're gonna bring back Vader somehow, or even just Hayden Christensen as Anakin.
Cringe.
So they have to bring it all full circle some way to wrap this whole giant 9-episode story up in this one movie. So yeah, you're going to see these characters, I believe.
When it comes to like Star Wars rumors, do you put any type of stock into any of this stuff?
No, because there's so many of them.
Right.
But
exactly.
I think they will have Anakin and the Emperor involved in some way. I don't know how.
Now, Slim Tim Review says, if he comes back, I won't see it because I can't stand the Disney Star Wars. That is crazy to me. Whether or not you liked The Last Jedi or not, Solo was great. We're going to have an episode either in early December or late November where Baz and I and maybe another surprise YouTube guest come on, and we're going to have like the great Star Wars debate where you're going to have pretty much everyone that hates these new Star Wars movies are going to be attacking me because I absolutely love the Disney Star Wars stuff. I am hook, line, and sinker on it. I think anybody that hates the Disney Star Wars stuff, like hates all of it. Now, Baz, you can't say you hate all of it because we've had conversations even on the live shows where you're like, yeah, I like some of it. Some of it's cool, but you just didn't like The Last Jedi. Or you didn't like certain things about...
I liked Rogue One. I think Rogue One is really good.
So, I think, which is funny because Rogue One is probably my least favorite out of them, but I still like that too. What I'm looking for in a movie, good acting, good dialogue, good character development, and I think the Disney Star Wars has that in spades, way over any of the other movies. Not the originals. The originals are enshrined in like this deity level. Like, let's not forget that The Empire Strikes Back was one of the greatest movies, period, and it's like perfect storytelling. So those don't count. Let's not even mention those. It's really just the prequels in these new movies, but I don't want to get into that here. We will have an episode dedicated fully to that in the coming weeks. Star Wars fans can actually write better theories and stories than the stories we actually get sometimes. Yeah, well, that's just the way it is. I mean, that's like, look, man, it's always going to sound better up here and be cooler up here. That goes with everything. You're going to sit here, we're going to spend years speculating about this stuff, and we're going to think of every angle and every which way. And of course, somebody's going to come up with something really dope, So they're probably sitting there reading all this stuff, and they're just like, look, we can't. You do one thing, you're going to piss off somebody. You do something else, you're going to piss off somebody else. Whatever. I'm pretty happy
talking about the new Star Wars because I'm getting triggered and you're going to set me off, and we need to save that for the special episode.
All right, so we're getting off Star Wars. We're getting off Star Wars. Okay.
Very special Star Wars episode coming soon.
Yes, yes. So you guys are going to want to tune in for that.
Was it the holiday special? The Star Wars holiday special?
Yeah, what about it?
They have a, was it the Golden Girls from NECA is coming out soon.
Oh, yeah, well,
right?
yeah, I know that. I've seen the Golden Girls. What would be funny is if, you know what Star Wars needs to do? They need to, like the Hasbro, I guess, does the Star Wars figures, not necessarily the Black Series, but they need you, perfect convention exclusive. Get a B. Arthur waitress from the holiday special. That's a must purchase.
Yeah, that's the face sculpt is right there. We need somebody. There'll be customizers who make that figure, definitely.
But no, they got to just do it. I love your Red Cup, but that's as nutty as a Babe Ruth. Love these guys. And, you know, of course, Knick Knack Plastic Planet is one of my favorite channels. It's one of the channels I visit frequently. So me and him, that's one of the things we'll probably forever be enshrined in this constant battle of what was a better Star Wars movie, Episode 3 or anything else.
His favorite movie is Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah, it's one of his favorite. Well, it's Empire Strikes Back, I would presume. But yeah, he always goes on and on about Revenge of the Sith. Okay, let's get off Star Wars. We're going to talk about something hot, right? Something real hot right now, right? Because I think this girl's really hot. I like hot girls. I'm sure most of the people sitting watching this right now like hot girls too. And Ruby Rose, I think, is fine as hell. And she is playing Batwoman, and there is your first look at Ruby Rose's Batwoman. Baz, take it away as I start showing off this gorgeous. Look at how amazing that looks. It's not just Ruby Rose being hot. It's just the fact that this might be the most comic accurate TV show outfit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it looks like Batwoman, which actually, you know, is a compliment. You know, it's like, it looks like Batwoman.
It's great.
Yeah. Like, but that's awesome. Yeah.
Somebody put a picture up of that. They put this picture up online, right? And then they had a split screen, like one of those pick jointer pictures of the actual comic drawing of Batwoman, that the way they're drawing her now in the New 52. And it's the same friggin', it's the same. You know, it's like, oh my, and everybody collectively had a resounding yay. Everywhere across the board was like clapping. People were going like, you know, putting up the memes of like, you know, like the guy's tears and all that, all those crazy memes they put up, like little GIFs, comments, resounding thumbs up for this costume. So you see what happens when you put a little bit of comic book accuracy on some. Jeez, I can't stop tonight. A little bit of comic accuracy in this type of stuff goes a long way, man.
By the way, they just added Batman Bad Blood, the DC animated movie on Netflix, which Batwoman debuts in. So
saw that.
I just noticed they added it. Yeah, did you see that one?
No, yeah, hell yeah. That's part of the trilogy. That's part of that's the third part in the Batman versus Robin, Batman and Son. Well, it's Batman and Son, Batman versus Robin, and then Bad Blood. That's the little the Damian Wayne trilogy kind of.
Bruce Wayne goes missing, and then Dick takes over for Batman, and yeah, it's cool.
It's definitely a good story. Archie Bad Blood was a good movie. Definitely think she would do well in the role. Okay, also perfect casting. Now, I'm not going to get political. Ruby Rose happens to be a lesbian, and Batwoman happens to be a lesbian, and it just works. She has short hair. Batwoman actually does have short hair. That's a wig she wears. She's tough. She's got muscles. This actress. She's kind of rough and tumble a little bit. You can see her like punching someone in the face. Like I can see it. And she looks great in the outfit. So you got the trifecta there. Boom, boom, boom. It's perfect casting, in my opinion. People were complaining when she was originally cast, like, oh, she's not that great of an actress. This is DC TV. They don't have to be that good. They got to be good. And if you've seen Orange is the New Black, she's just good enough. I think she looks great. I think she's going to do a great job. So, Baz, where is she appearing? Where is she? When is she making her debut?
That is during the DC TV or Arrowverse, as some call it, the crossover that they have between all the shows on CW. It'll be called Elseworlds. So you're going to have Flash, Arrow, and what's the other one?
Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Supergirl. I don't watch Supergirl.
No.
Yeah, those 3 shows will be crossing over. Legends of Tomorrow won't be crossing over this year.
So it's just the 3 shows. So it'll be the 3-part, the Elseworlds crossover.
And Elseworlds, and the Monitor was cast. So you're gonna have kind of like Crisis on Infinite Earths over here. So
Now, do you think they're gonna go with her being Batwoman in Gotham City and there's a Batman? Or do you think in this Elseworlds universe that she actually is like the Batman?
Wow. Yeah. I don't know.
Where there is no Batman, there's Bruce Wayne, but in this universe, it's Batwoman and not Batman. I'll be okay with that. It's an Elseworlds show. That's the way I look at the Arrowverse. A lot of people are like, oh, that's not accurate.
They established in the Arrowverse that Bruce Wayne exists, right? So we don't know if Batwoman is in the same universe as Arrow and them yet. So
okay.
I would like to see Black Lightning show up.
That would be cool too. I know he's got his own show and he's been rocking for a while as well.
I heard that show is really good, man.
I've heard good stuff about it as well. I haven't watched any of the DC shows from this last thing, which is a shame too, because I'm a huge Arrow fan. Arrow's my favorite show out of all of them. I think The Flash does best when it comes to special effects and lightheartedness. I think it gets the tone of superheroicism the best, but I just love the characters on Arrow. You know my favorite character, Diggle. I can't get enough of that dude. I think he's a great actor. I just love Diggle. There was like an inside joke years back when Diggle came on the show in our little crew. Love that show. Love Arrow. The only problem I have with Arrow is a character that I originally liked, Emily Beckett Richards, who plays what the hell does she play? The Oracle character, right? The blonde with the glasses.
Felicity.
Felicity Smoke. I hate her. The last 2 or 3 seasons, I've hated her character. I think they're completely destroying it and beating it over the head. They're doing a very. Remember when Heroes was kind of ruined when they were making Siler a good guy, then a bad guy, then a good guy again, then a bad guy again. They didn't know what to do with him after the writer's strike, and it kind of like really crushed the momentum of the show because he was like one of the best villains in like TV history up until that point. I think they're doing the same thing with this. Arrow and Felicity are married. They're not married. They're on again. They're off again. Just give this guy Black Canary and let him be happy already. All right, like get rid of this guy. They should have just killed her off in the bomb explosion that happened 2 seasons ago and let it lie. Robert Just a Fan. Hi all. What's up, Rob? Plastic Planet. Watching the WB Supergirl show makes me tingly, like the Rose back in gym class. Yeah, she's definitely very pretty. I can't watch that show for undisclosed reasons.
Kev's Matrix says the last Nazi crossover was good. Yo, I thought that that crossover was better than the Justice League movie itself. It came out around the same time, and I enjoyed that more than the movie. Yeah,
that crossover was really, really freaking good.
By the way, this season of Flash, Flash's daughter, him and Iris's daughter come back. She comes back from the future.
Right.
It's stuck in his time. And I think the Reverse Flash has something to do. Is going to be involved in this somehow. And it's who's that guy who's in every season of the show? He plays like a different version of himself.
Oh, that's oh god, my favorite actor on that show.
Yeah, him. Oh. He'll be the Reverse Flash.
Oh, he's gonna come back as Reverse Flash?
Exactly, not the actual guys, the other actor. It'll be this guy.
The guy that was Reverse Flash in the first season. That's freaking awesome. Harry, yes.
Okay.
Never watched WB2 soap opera for me, but it's okay. Well, you're talking to two 90s wrestling fans and early 2000 wrestling fans where we just love the soap opera type stuff. So I eat that shit up hook, line, and sinker. Especially since the girls are the hottest. They have the hottest cast. Arrow. I have never seen. They got the best looking girls in the show. They got superheroes in their outfits, busting ass. It's great. Speaking of DC TV shows, DC Secret 6 gets a pilot on CBS. Another big mistake from DC. And these guys just can't get out of their own way. Great idea, very bad execution. They have a streaming service, and they're releasing the Secret 6 on CBS when their main hub is the CW. Didn't they have this problem with Supergirl? Didn't the Supergirl start off on CBS and then it got canceled and they had to pick it up on the CW where it's been thriving for the last 5 years? So for those that don't know, the Secret Six is basically like a Suicide Squad, right? I know Bane's on the team. And
exactly. Deadshot was on the team.
Right, so they're kind of like the Suicide Squad kind of, and it's the Secret Six. It's another all villain TV show, and it's going to be on CBS. Thumbs down. Stupid move. Should be on the DC streaming service because they could use all the shows and helps that they can get. You need people to be able to tune into that streaming service, and they're going to need all the help they can get. So this is a stupid idea, in my opinion.
What'll happen? It'll be on CBS, which has a way bigger viewership. It'll gain some fans. It'll be some sort of like a promotion for the name Secret Six. It'll get out there basically, and then it'll probably get canceled after the first season, and then maybe they'll move it to the CW or they'll move it to the streaming service.
Right.
It'll get its name out there by being on CBS.
Slim Tim Reviews writes, not a fan of the CW fears. Apparently, a couple of people that are watching right now are not a fan of the CW shows, and that's fine. I'm not here to promote it. But what I want to remind everybody is that before this time, we had Smallville, which was terrible, and it had a couple of good episodes, and you didn't get super heroics on TV. Like, these shows actually have heroes busting ass on these shows. Like, they're flying in on zip lines and shooting trick arrows, and everyone's doing their signature moves, and you have special effects, and it all looks really good for television. So I don't know what everybody expects.
Movie level stunt like production, so
really does. I mean, like I don't know, it just blows me away. I had this running joke going on with my wife when we would watch these shows, and I would sit there and every 10 minutes, I would go, I can't believe I'm watching TV. I can't believe I'm seeing this on television. Like, we need to, well, look, I'm 36 years old. I don't know how old some of the other people in the chat room are, but for those of us that are in our late 30s, if you hate these shows, really wind back the clocks in your head and think back to a time when Saturday morning was the only time you got cartoons, and that was it. And there was no superheroes. It was like the 70s superhero stuff, and then that was it. You had to rely on the 66 Batman TV show to come on once in a while on TV Land if you had cable. So let's put things into perspective, fellas.
Dude,
okay.
Watch the Hulk with Bill Bixby. You have to wait like 45, 50 minutes until you see the Hulk do anything. Like, he becomes the Hulk, and then he does some he throws somebody in slow motion, and that's the extent of the action you get.
Yeah, exactly.
We had to friggin' settle for.
But we lived through this. Exactly, we lived through this. So,
Kev's Matrix, right? Smallville never let Tom effing fly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Smallville had promised the first 2 seasons, and then it just got goofy and campy. And
now you got take Supergirl, for instance, which I think has crazy awesome special effects. Can't stand the show. The Superman on that show, you have Superman flying around, punching things, flying through buildings, saving people, full cape blowing in the wind, all that stuff. And I'm telling you guys, at the very least, if you're not going to watch the show on a regular basis, just check out some of the episodes where a lot of the heroes all team up and stuff like that. They're great.
Okay, speaking of Smallville, Smallville did some of my 2 favorite episodes would be the Justice Society of America episode was really good. They had a cool Dr. Fate on there.
That was the only time I watched the show.
Hawkman was pretty cool too on that. And the Legion of Superheroes episode was really good.
Well, yeah, there you go. The only 2 reasons to tune in on that show was when they actually had super heroics on a superhero-themed TV show. Unbelievable. Okay. Frankie Fields, the Fighting an Arrow is awesome. Yes, it is. Top notch. Okay, Robert Just a Fan. Yeah, more old school 66 Batman, 77 Spidey, Cap Hulk, 75 Wonder Woman, $6 million Man, 50 Superman, Basketball Collector, etc. Yes. Okay, Baz, give us your breakdown. We get Baz saw Titans. I didn't get to see it yet. Baz, give us the breakdown on Titans without completely spoiling it for everybody that hasn't seen it yet.
Okay, so I read an interview with one of the screenwriters, Akiva Goldsman, or Goldsmith. I think it's Goldsman. It's one of those. He's one of the guys who wrote Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. So I don't know if that's good news or not, but he said that that their show, the Titans, is close cousins with the Netflix Marvel stuff.
Okay.
So it's gonna have that dark, serious tone. But from what I've seen, the first episode, it moves well. It's a lot of action in the show. It's not like slow and plodding like you're worried about those kind of shows, the Netflix. But you might not like the brutality of the heroes in it. Spoilers: breaks a leg. He takes someone's head and he breaks glass and he like scrapes it against the glass. So the action's kind of brutal. There's some deaths in it. So I don't know. It's the first episode. It was entertaining for what it was. People will have the problems people will have with it is the tone, is the dark tone. I don't have a problem. I'm wondering.
This is having no experience with this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the guys in DC don't say, "Oh, it's close to the Marvel Netflix stuff," and because it's dark, we made it so dark and brutal, and there's just blood everywhere. It's the Titan Blood series. That's not why the Netflix shows are good. They're not good because they're blood. It's good because the production quality and the acting and the storytelling is good. And I can't even stand those friggin' shows. And I could objectively say that. Like this, you got to kind of separate sometimes. So I'm just hoping that DC doesn't take that like, oh, it must be successful because of this. Like I watched this thing where it was like, it was a YouTube video where it was like, did the Dark Knight ruin DC like completely? Because now they think that everything needs to be like the Dark Knight. It doesn't. Robin is not a dark character. We had a joke earlier last week where we were talking about how brutal Robin looked. And I said to you, if Dick Grayson, who's not supposed to be that brutal, is this brutal, by the time they get to Damian, what is he going to be? Hitler? Like, where do you go from here? And I mentioned on the last week's podcast that they said that the reason why he's breaking away from Batman and the whole Batman thing comes from the fact that Batman's actually a killer. We went over this already, facepalm. So there you go, folks. Where do you go from here? Batman kills people.
He doesn't kill, but he maims. Okay, and if you're going for a serious tone, a trained martial artist or somebody trained in combat, they're going to hurt their opponents. So in this way, they will break bones, they will crack skulls. It's going to happen if you're going first. They're not going to be throwing haymakers like in the '66 show.
Right. No, I get it. That's fine. Even in the way Frank Miller wrote Batman, he was doing that. Boom, kicks the guy, broke ribs, cracks the guy's spine. He may walk again, and or he'll be crippled. I get it. That's fine. As long as they're not just dead up taking batarangs and cutting throats with it. That's ridiculous.
No, it's not like that.
All right, cool. Well, that's good. So you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Is it worth for the people to watch Titans? Yes or no?
For me, it's thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Nice. Okay, cool. Speaking of Nightwing and Robin, switching it up here, transitioning, DC has a comic book that they're doing right now called The Death of Nightwing, but it's not really the death of Nightwing. Let me explain. I have it right here. Okay. The heartbreaking, I'm reading from Screen Rant right now because I couldn't memorize all this. The heartbreaking Batman number 55 saw the KGBs stake out the bat signal, waiting for a chance to hit Bruce Wayne where he's most vulnerable. Not any part of his own body, but the sidekick, friend, and surrogate son who had returned to Gotham for a visit. As the newest issue of Nightwing reveals, the attack worked. Dick is alive and kicking, but with absolutely no memory of the man he used to be and no desire to be a superhero like his Bat family wishes. He is now moving on. It's hard to believe, but Nightwing number 50 leaves no doubt Dick Grayson is now done being a hero in the DC universe. KGB shoots Dick Grayson in the head, almost kills him. He goes into a hospital. There's a big 6-month time jump in the Nightwing series, and now he's a bare knuckle brawler in like the Gotham Underground kind of, and he's done being a hero, and he has no recollection or memory of anything. So Nightwing is officially dead, but Dick Grayson is alive with just basically amnesia. So that's kind of a cool way, I guess, to switch up a story with having a character die without really killing them off.
Sounds like a good story arc.
Oh, it's definitely mad cool. I like the idea. And I like the idea that they're using a character like KG Beast for this too, and not someone that you would like expect, like Deadshot or something. Like take a lesser known villain and kind of like build him up a little bit by making him the one responsible for this. I think it's genius. Let's see. Robert Superman just bought Batman Turtles 1 and 2 comic. Love it. Yes, Batman and Turtles. I bought the second one at New York Comic Con for my son. We're halfway through it. It's freaking awesome. I'll give you the breakdown for that. The Batman and Turtles series is really fun. It's really, really well written, and it's fun as hell. The storyline.
The artist on that is it Freddie H. Williams?
I'm not sure, but that sounds familiar. I don't know. Robert, just a fan. Is it Freddie H. Williams? I don't have the ability right now to look that up.
I think that's the same guy that's doing Masters of the Universe.
Yes, yes, it is. If that's the character, yes, it is.
He's great.
The story arc for the Batman and Turtles in the second series, basically Donatello gets his ass beat by this new version of the Foot Clan because the Foot Clan is now scattered because Shredder was defeated in Batman Turtles 1. He's gone missing. So you have Karai and her faction and a bunch of other factions. Donatello goes out on his own, gets his ass beat, totally loses confidence in himself, and decides to open up the transport device that is a gateway between the Turtles universe and the DC universe. So he wants to go over to the DC universe to talk to Batman and kind of get a pep talk. But when he activates it, Batman is actually fighting Bane at the time, or Robin or something. And Bane and Donatello switch places. And Bane comes into the Turtles world, and the Foot Clan attacks him, and he beats the shit out of the Foot Clan and basically takes over the Foot Clan. Finds what does he find? A Lazarus pit that's hidden under Gotham City. And I'm sorry. He finds the Lazarus pit that's hidden under Gotham City in the DC world, then gets transported, takes over the Foot Clan, and has Baxter Stockman make him Venom from their universe that's mixed with mutagen and injects the entire Foot Clan with it. And Bebop and Rocksteady. So now you have the Foot Clan on Venom and Bebop and Rocksteady as like Bane versions of themselves, with Bane running the whole friggin' show. So Batman is like, we have to get into your universe to save it, and goes to Ra's al Ghul for advice because Ra's al Ghul's been outed. He's no longer in charge of the League of Shadows. So he's like, it's funny, detective, that you come to me for help. So Batman grabs Donatello, goes back into the Ninja Turtles realm, and teams up with them to take on this new version of, like, it's kind of like the League of Assassins meets the Foot Clan with Bane running the show. Outrageous, mad fun.
Yeah, so this team up has been a hit. I saw a preview for another Batman Turtle team up, but in the animated style.
Well, a comic book?
Yeah, but drawn in the Batman.
It would be cool to actually see a cartoon with them in it, but that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more with those two universes.
Okay. Moving on from universe to universe. Universes are starting to combine and morph and change, and now you have James Gunn possibly directing, but more than likely writing Suicide Squad 2. Great news. I'm down. DC got rid of James Gunn, and now he's been courted by Warner Brothers to write and possibly direct Suicide Squad Part 2. What do you think?
Well, he's a talented guy. He's a great writer. He's a great director. It's just, the whole thing about people getting fired for tweets and, things that they say and controversial stuff. And, I mean, what he did, the jokes he did make, even though it was, what was it, 10 years ago or something? Despite how long ago it was, I mean, he did make some horrible jokes. And there was more than one. There was dozens. And they were all about, molestation and child pornography or whatever the hell it was about. It was just, so I don't know. I mean, I kind of, like, as a fan, I'm, like, happy. Like, I want to see Suicide Squad 2 do well. And I'm a fan of his work. But at the same time, if these people over here are getting fired for certain kinds of tweets and, I kind of want consistency, you know?
Yeah, well, you know that to Warner Brothers at this point is going to jump on anything they can to get a success story or something. Not just James Gunn jumping over, but Dave Bautista has expressed loudly and proudly interest in being involved in this Suicide Squad sequel.
Bane.
There are talks, although the rumor mill is rumor mill is a rabbit hole that goes very deep. I could see him playing a version of Bane. Right? That might not be a bad idea, especially for that new universe they have crafted. So
Frankie Taylor says it's like the pedos switch teams.
Yeah, well. Slim Tim Reviews won't watch anything he does, but that's just me. No, I understand, but Guardians of the Galaxy was both movies were fantastic. You can't take that away from the guy. So it is what it is.
Things like he didn't just make one or two of these pedo jokes. There was like, I don't know, hundreds. I mean, am I exaggerating? But there was a lot.
Yeah, no, there was an outrageous amount. Okay, Robert, just a fan. I want a Sergeant Rock movie live or animated.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's pretty cool, and you should
Christopher Nolan, Sergeant Rock.
That'd be pretty cool. I know that what's his face is like a huge Sergeant Rock fan. Billy Tucci.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. It says someone else recently wrote something about the Venom figure. A bunch of posts back. No, there's a Venom 1/6 figure that's out right now called the Poison. It's a knockoff. It's an independent figure. It's not licensed, and it's called the Poison, and it's a 6-scale Venom figure. It looks pretty good. I'm not getting it for my collection. I have Venom. I don't need a big Venom. I don't even have a Spider-Man 6-scale figure. I had the Homecoming figure. I sold it. I'm sticking to what?
When do you plan on seeing Venom?
Well, here's the thing. Time, right? So you got the Venom movie out now. You got the Titans. I'm actually in the process of rewatching Batman Forever because there's a surprise possibly coming up at the end of next week. I'll be able to let you guys know possibly either next show or the show after that I have a special cool review in the works, but it's not Red Cup. It's Red Cup review related, but not necessarily Red Cup review. So I can't let the cat out of the bag just yet, but it does have to do with Batman Forever. So I have to do my homework. I have to watch Batman Forever. And then I got to watch Titans. I got to watch this Venom movie. I'm actually on a Joaquin Phoenix kick right now. I watched Walk the Line last week, and tonight after the show, I may put on The Master. Or I may put on Titans. I don't know, but I'm on this big Joaquin Phoenix.
Don't watch The Master this late. It's a slower movie.
So I keep that for an earlier one. Okay,
it's a good early Sunday movie, Sunday afternoon movie.
Let's see. Last but not least, to wrap the show up this week, I want to talk about something that affects collectors of all shapes and sizes, and that's action figure pricing. Okay, this week, Mezco released the pre-order for their cable figure. The cable figure looks great. Comes with 2 different head sculpts, a giant gun, a grenade launcher, a handgun, multiple pouches, all that good stuff. He comes with a chest piece with the X on it that lights up. His outfit that the Mezco is using is very reminiscent of the outfit he had during the Messiah Complex storyline. And his eye lights up. So he has this light up effect. Probably press a button somewhere hidden on him, and the X thing will light up, and his eye will light up. Very cool. Thumbs up. I don't like light up things on my figures because I never use them, but whatever. Nice gimmick.
Hold on. And why don't you use them?
Because you never use the friggin' things. Because they go in your cabinet and you never touch them. I mean,
you don't want to keep the batteries in there, right?
Exactly. You keep the batteries in there. The batteries warp. They deteriorate the figure. If you're not using them constantly and they sit in there for a year or longer, they could become corrosive, and then it destroys the figure and the integrity of the figure's electronics and everything else. I can't stand that type of stuff. I would rather just have
you use like once or twice. You go, oh, cool, look, it does this, and then that's it. Exactly.
What I would have done is I would have used specialty paint on his eye, and for a glow in the dark thing or something. That would have been cool. You know, now most Mezco figures. The reason why I bring this up is Mezco comes in at about $80 to $85 a figure, roughly. They come in at about $80 to $85. Well, this figure happens to be $100. Okay, so the cable figure comes out of nowhere. Everyone's waiting. Bang, $100. Is this a trend where we're going to see prices increase? I don't think so. I think that most of the figures are going to stay at $85. However, $15 extra because of light up features, $15 extra because of die cast parts, $20, $30 extra for these little gimmicks. So my point is do action figures. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for the extra money? People that are in the chat room, come on. I want to see the chat room blow up right now. I know there's a lot of collectors in there right now. Does the $15 extra hurt you? Is it worth it? Let us know.
Okay, how about like Darkseid? Isn't he made of like polystone or something? The
Darkseid figure comes in at $180. He's also a huge, huge figure. The standard Mezco figure comes in at about 6.5 inches. The Darkseid figure is at like almost 10. He's at like 10 inches, and he's wide. So the Darkseid figure is
statues out of, right?
Yeah, so he's basically part polystone as well. So not only is he big and chunky, but he's got polystone parts to give it that real authentic rock effect. Plus, he has light up features. He has the eyes light up as well. So he clocks in at 180, and that's getting into like hot toy territory. I pre-ordered them. I'm going to be doing a review on them. But do these extra gimmicks, are they worth the... Would you rather have the figure stay at $85 or $100 or whatever it is, like for the size of the figure and stuff like that? Do you want the extra light up stuff? I mentioned this in a chat. No, actually, it wasn't a chat. I mentioned this on my Darth Vader review when I was reviewing this fella back here. And I had said that I hated the light up stuff. I never use the light up sabers. I think it's silly. I said it multiple times throughout and a guy actually contacted me and said, you know what? You ruined this review. I'm not watching your reviews anymore because other thing out of your mouth was I don't like the light up features. Well, I happen to like light up features. This is just from some guy. And, us action figure photography guys actually like this stuff. And it's like you're slapping us in the face by constantly dissing it. You know what? I don't care. The Red Cup Review is my channel, and I'm going to run it however the hell I want to run it and say my piece. So unfortunately, for those of you that don't agree, go somewhere else. However.
Well, hold on. It's so unbelievable nowadays that, like, you can't like take a stance on anything. You can't not like something because there's always somebody that likes something that in particular that you don't like, and then they just write you off because of that one thing. It's insane.
I know. So if you express an opinion on something, which like look, a lot of people I'm guessing tune into this Red Cup review thing that we got going on here on Saturday nights to talk shop with us, right? And to get the weekend review if you haven't caught it, to talk shit and the chat with one another, and the whole thing is about getting the family to come together. Then I got the regular reviews, right? So people that are going to come and watch the Red Cup review are going to want to watch me and my opinions and kind of like what I got going on, right? And then the same thing goes for Archie and these other guys that do their own reviews. I'm sure Slim Tim goes through his own nonsense with the people that watch his reviews. But you watch the guy for their opinions, right? So just because the person's opinion doesn't jive with yours doesn't mean their opinion is any less valid. I personally think that electronic components and light up features on action figures are stupid. It's not worth it to me. Except the Cyclops one is kind of cool because I like Cyclops' eyes to light up a little bit. But anyways, besides that, I think it's ridiculous. I'm not for electronics. I think it's a waste of money. It's a waste of. I'd rather have an additional head sculpt. If you're going to give me $15 to $20 worth of extra payment, give me an extra head sculpt. Give me more accessories. Somebody in this just said for $100 it should come with a diorama. Great idea. Rob Just a Fan wrote that.
That would be cool. Dioramas, yes.
Forget the electronics and all that other gimmicky bullshit. Give us dioramas. Give us something for the character to not just to stand either diorama. Give us those backdrops. For those of you that go to Toy Fair and go to New York Comic Con and see these things posted online, Mezco does this thing where they have like their art team do like these dioramas in the back of their figures. Give us the friggin' dioramas, bro. Make them cardboard. Just give us something. Give us maybe 2 dioramas. Give us 2 cardboard dioramas for an extra $15 with a little thing they could slip into, like a little hard base, and it's just freaking cardboard. It ain't gonna cost them nothing. And save yourself the time and energy on having to go through putting these freaking electronics in, and give us something that we can actually display our figures with. Because what do we do with these damn things? We do a little bit of action figure photography with them, and then they go in your case, and then they sit in your case. And then you take them out of the case, you dust them off, you repose them, you put them back in. Give us something to repose. Give us a new accessory, a new head sculpt. Give us a variation on something. Like, let me show you. Perfect example. Got the Sideshow R2 here. Click on the sides of his head and boom. Take a look at that. Now that's really cool, right? The thing glows, it spins around. Yeah, I'll click it again. And then click it again. His little, his camera goes on. You got the thing flashing on the back. It looks great, right? Then you pair him up with the Princess Leia table here. You click on this button here and boom, Princess Leia lights up. And help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. You put them together. They're both lit up and they look great. Then you put them in the closet or you put them on your shelf. And what are you going to do? Have the batteries are going to last 5 minutes and the batteries are this small. They're hearing aid batteries. That's it. It's over and done with. If you ain't taking pictures, it ain't worth it. Or a little video or a review. Dumb idea. What I would do personally is I would rather it just be painted. Just give me, see this? See how that looks nice and glowy? Just do a really good paint job because there are customizers out there that can do this on this little piece and make it look like she's glowing. This way, she's always glowing. Make R2, instead of doing this light up effect, give me like different, just paint it and give me different lenses I could slip in there or something. To switch up like the color of the eye or something. And then it's always on. R2's always working. This thing is always on. Paint apps. Forget this electronic shit. I think is just nonsense. Baz, what do you think of the gimmicks on action figures? And is it worth the money?
Cyclops, is he coming up with a light up feature?
Yes, he does.
Mezco?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Pre-order now. What's I'm changing the subject. What's coming out from Mezco in the next few months?
What's coming out? Well, forget it. If you're looking for what's being released, I got, you might as well just talk to the brick wall behind you as well as you talk to a guy from Mezco themselves because they're never on time. I have a feeling that in December we're going to wind up getting like 10 figures at once.
I saw somebody get Catwoman.
Catwoman has been released in Japan or Hong Kong. She's out, the black version of Catwoman. So she'll be dropping. She should be out within the next couple of weeks. We'll probably get her in the next month to 6 weeks, just in time for Christmas. Jason will be out soon. Iron Man was supposed to come out in September, so he got pushed back, so he should be coming out soon. Michael Myers just released.
Yeah.
So you should be getting Jason, Iron Man, Catwoman, but Catwoman's she's probably going to be the first one to get released. Sovereign Knight Batman, which is going to be figure of the year next year, mark my words, is not releasing until next year.
What about the purple version of Catwoman?
December, January, probably around there, if I had to guess.
Wow, so everyone's going to get hit in December.
Everyone's going to get hit in either right before Christmas or right after with all this stuff. And I pretty much have to pre-order every one of these friggin' things because I do the reviews on them, and I don't keep most of them. Most of the time I do the review. If it doesn't fit in my collection, I'll look at it for a week and then sell it off and just try to make as much of the money back as I can for the figure itself, because I'm going to have to pay for the other 20 pre-orders that are going to be on, just the giant wave of pre-orders coming in.
You said Jon Stewart, I think. Jon Stewart's coming out? No, did he even come up for pre-order yet?
No, Jon Stewart's not even up for pre-order yet. So he's like, you're not going to see him until next summer or maybe next year around this time. Emperor Enthroned with lights for us. Ash. Yes, Ash is coming soon. We should be getting Ash very soon. I believe he's supposed to release this month. He's not going to, obviously, because we would have gotten the emails that everyone gets like these 7 to 10 day emails. So if no one's gotten the emails yet, it ain't coming out for another 7 to 10 days from that point. So any day now, you'll get the email and you'll figure it out then. Knick-Knack, Plastic Planet. What a dink. What a dink, Rob. Someone got super pissed at me in the Syndicate Facebook page for the gall, I guess he meant to say, of suggesting that $75 for a 35-year-old Devastator was a rip. Yeah, they shouldn't. This community gets their panties in a bunch way too much. Like, look, guys, we're all part of the same, cesspool of collectors and all this other nonsense. Stop getting in each other's asses. He's Nick Nack, you're totally right. $75 for this. I know how big they are. They're this big. I have one of these figures from the 80s for the Devastator stuff. And when you form Devastator, you're lucky if he's 12 inches tall. It's probably just around 12 inches. Not good. They're cashing in. I saw you wrote in one of your forums that it was the nostalgia tax, which is right on point with that. And they're just a lot of apologists and defenders in these groups, and a lot of basement dwellers. And I don't want to kind of alienate people that might be watching the page that like that. But you know what? I got news for you, guy. If you're one of those people, you need to get your head checked, because Nick Nack's my man, and I got to stick up for him. And for the guy that commented on me about saying that I was a screwball and a moron for saying that Darth Vader and figures shouldn't come in electronics because he and other action figure photographers happen to like them. You know what? Go watch another page. I don't know what to tell you. That's as real as you're going to get, folks. Okay. And I want to shout something else out. And this is me just being a little self-conscious. A guy on one of the pages, and one of the syndicate pages, was talking about tired of seeing YouTubers that want to promote their pages that act like characters that they're not like in real life. Well, I'm as real as they get. Me and Baz, this is what you see is what you get. If me and you went out for a beer, this is the character that'll be sitting next to you. This is me. Okay, so I guess a lot when we're in New York, and this is just the way we talk and act around here. So you know, take that if it just so happened to be me, and I'm maybe it wasn't, but I kind of think it was, because there's really only like 3 or 4 people that post consistently on these pages, and I'm one of them. So if it was directed at me, I got news for you, pal. You know, go scratch your ass. Damn, I didn't see that post. Yeah, no Drac, Mummy or Wolfman. Yes, okay. So Rob, just a fan, wants to know what happened to Universal. They're not doing it anymore. I spoke to Pierre at Toy Fair. He wouldn't give me an interview, but I was talking to him, and I was like, look, man, what's going on with the Universal line? Because I had the Frankenstein, which is an excellent figure, and the doorway. That Frankenstein doorway is one of the nicest environment pieces I've ever seen. It's made of hardcore polystone. It is beautifully detailed. I think my 3rd review ever on the Red Cup, before I was actually even interesting and knew what the hell I was doing with editing, was a review on that. And I spoke to him. I says, yo, what's going on, man? Because I wound up selling it off because of the answer I got. And the answer I got was, if people were interested in the Universal figures line, they should have bought them. And I was like, look, dude, you can't say that, because you're going to come out with Frankenstein. I told him, I was like, look, dude, you come out with Frankenstein and then nothing else. And no one wants to invest in a Universal Monsters line if you're only going to come out with one figure. You dropped one figure, and then there wasn't even a hint of another Universal Monster figure being released. And then why would anyone buy that? And he's like, well, that's not something that a company wants to hear. That's not, you know, like you want something, you want us to make more of something, you have to buy it. And so that we can go to our higher ups and let them know, like, hey, look, we want to invest more in that type of a line. And you want to know what? He's 100% right. So for everybody that wanted a Universal Monsters line of figures, you should have went out and bought them. Unfortunately, I guess there's not as many Universal Monster fans as I think there should be, because the figures are, that Frankenstein figure is very, very, very nice. And we're probably just not getting any more of them. Which is funny, because when they were showing off their reveals, their Mezco reveals for New York Comic-Con, like what their exclusives were going to be, they said, watch closely, because we're going to have hints to what our figures and what our reveals at Comic-Con might be. So it was like, okay, they're going to have the reveal of the Ronin Wolverine, but during the course of that 40 minutes, they made everyone waste their life. And if anyone from Mezco was actually going to watch this, you made everyone on that stupid Switch thing waste 40 minutes of their life watching that nonsense. And it was basically like just different things kind of showing up on the page. It was ridiculous. And one of the things was a tiki statue of Creature of the Black Lagoon. And it got everybody thinking like, oh my God, they're doing the Creature of the Black Lagoon. They're bringing the Universal Monsters back. And then you go to New York Comic-Con and there's literally nothing new. Mezco showed off nothing new, except I think the Furies, because I don't remember seeing them before, for the witch cult line, the Warriors line they're doing. So that's cool. The Furies were cool. But they showed off nothing else. So you did that whole reveal thing, showed the Creature from the Black Lagoon thing, and then nothing. Radio silence again. And they refuse to do interviews anymore, and they refuse to have any type of PR or interaction with their fans, which Sideshow totally excels at. So Mezco, big thumbs down on your part. And I got a deal that I do at Mezco, guys. I go back and forth with them, and I talk to one of their reps. But I got to call it out when I see it. They do excellent work. They have the best 6-inch figures on the market. However, they're dropping the ball on those reveals, and they dropped the ball in the Universal Monsters line, and that's just my opinion. My local comic shop has like 5 Frankensteins. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's stupid. I got to be honest. If they come out with a Bela Lugosi Dracula or a Lon Chaney Wolfman, those Frankenstein figures are going to go from being $45 and $50 because like the comic shops are just trying to get rid of them now. Those things are going to be like $150, $200. I'm telling you, everyone's going to run out and buy those.
They would have invested in the line. A lot of people catch on to stuff later on, like not exactly when stuff is put out. See, like, you know, like a lot of people like get into like, say, like a television series, maybe in season 3 or season 4. They don't start with season 1, right? So maybe if they would have invested and put out like Dracula, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, people would have caught on to it and said, oh, wow, there's the Creature of the Black Lagoon. Oh, what? Look, there's Dracula. Oh, there's Frankenstein. They would have went back and bought all this stuff. You never know. But, you know, Frankenstein came out, okay, that's it. We're not gonna go forward anymore.
Exactly. And why the hell you invest in a figure when you only get one of something? You know, it's like you're going to buy their Star Trek line and you only got well, they lost the Star Trek license because they dragged their feet with that, and those weren't really great sellers either. But I don't know, man. I really don't have any answers for you. Would I have loved the Universal Monsters line? Hell's yeah. You know, now they're doing the more modern horror characters, and they're selling out like crazy now. I'm telling you, if they came out with a horror character, the shit would sell just like every day. They're doing the Warriors. If they're going to do the Warriors and they're going to do the Dawn of the Dead 2-pack of just the 2 zombies, and they, you know, maybe they can't get the licensing. Maybe it's a licensing issue. Maybe the Lugosi family is like, nah, we ain't giving it to you, which I think is kind of silly, and I think is kind of bullshit too, because there's a lot of other Universal Monsters, like there's a lot of other stuff that's like licensed to companies like Factory Entertainment has Universal Monsters that they do lunch boxes and little tikis of and all that nonsense. So the licensing is out there. They gave up
the Paramount, I think. Did you see The Mummy with Tom Cruise?
No, wouldn't watch it.
I mean, that was a decent movie, and that was going to be a part of a whole Universal Monster universe, a connected universe. They even took a picture together. It was like Johnny Depp was in it. He was going to be the Invisible Man.
Yeah. It was the guy from No Country for Old Men was going to be Frankenstein, right?
Frankenstein, and then so what's his name? The Gladiator guy. He was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Right. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Beautiful Mind.
Yeah. Yeah, so and the Mummy didn't do that well, and they just scrapped the whole idea. I mean, you know, who knows? I mean, maybe the Mummy becomes a semi-hit on cable or like on video, or you know, people give up too quickly. The producers give up too quickly.
Yeah, there you go. Russell Crowe, that was his name. Good looking on that, Kevin. Matrix. Frankie Fearless brings up a good point. The marketing for us regular buyers is not that good. Sometimes a guy like me might find out late. Yeah. Pretty much, and that's what happened with the Mezco 112 line. They blew up late, and they never went back, though. Even with here's a figure that sold like hotcakes. Every version of him is going for the most common version you can't find for less than $200, $250. That's the Dark Knight Returns Batman. And I know you have yours. We both have the PX version. That was one we went with at the time when the line first started. They never went and made a Carrie Kelly. They never made a Superman from that line. Why are they not going back to that well? People have been waiting now 3 years to complete that line. You have just Batman and that's it? Come on. It is a little ridiculous.
I've been waiting for Hot Toys to do Catwoman from Batman Returns or even Penguin.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing that's just complete. Forget it. Don't get me started on Hot Toys, because Hot Toys basically is becoming the Marvel Legends for big figures. And that's another argument here. Talk about a poisonous group of people. The 1/6 community, which I'm a part of, is just rife with poison, bro. You say something like, oh, another Iron Man variant come on, where's these figures? And they're like, oh, I want the Iron Man variant. There's a million people that want to buy 100 different versions of Iron Man and give a shit less about Catwoman, apparently. And I know Howard Chan from Hot Toys only makes figures that he himself likes, but he also likes the Batman stuff. Maybe it didn't sell as good. Maybe it's just on the back burner. I know every year, usually around Comic-Con time, they have like a Q&A with him. Like I think he grants like one Q&A a year, and this year they didn't do it, or I didn't see it. It must have flew under my radar because I didn't see it. They just, maybe it never happened. Yeah, the 1/6 is vicious and sad, bro. You're like, to me, you're gonna buy a $200-300 toy, but you want to buy a repaint. Like there was, everyone went nuts over this this New York Comic Con exclusive, which was really just a hangover from San Diego Comic Con exclusive Iron Man neon version, who looked like Tron Iron Man.
Ugly as hell.
Yeah, it was horrible. I'm sorry if anyone in the chat room bought it and you thought it was cool. Great, I hope it looks great in your collection. I thought it looked terrible. To me, it's like it has no representation in any of the movies. Any of the comics, even. It was just like, I don't know. Oh, just whatever, man. You're gonna
what is he, Rave Iron Man?
The what?
Rave Iron Man.
Yeah, like exactly. So I don't know, man. I thought it was kind of like just ugh. Only Hot Toys I have are Batman related, and I'm hoping for a certain Catwoman and Penguin. Yep, there you go. As are we all. You don't see the random characters from Hot Toys anymore. John Wick was a big surprise when it was announced. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think Blitzway has been killing it every year. Blitzway is coming out with a School of Rock figure that I'm not going to buy. But it's great to see variation. They're coming out with a Bill and Ted line. Great. I'll probably buy that one. They did a Hannibal Lecter. It's just good to see variety. Oh, my God. I'm a big proponent of variety. Even if it's something that I have no interest in, I just want to see something different. Just give us – somebody's got to like it, right? I don't know. On one of the pages I wrote this week, do we really need 10 Scarlet Witches? Like, is there somebody in the world that's like the greatest Scarlet Witch fan or Bucky fan that we need like 20 different versions of Bucky from every movie?
Bucky just came out for pre-order, right?
Yeah, like I don't care. Like, look, it's not that even I don't care. Like one guy, like a lot of people, like hell's yeah, I want it for all my different movie collection. Like I have my Bucky for this movie, Bucky for this movie, Bucky for this movie.
Yeah, I like Bucky, but not $200 worth.
Really, if you're gonna do that, like, you know, I don't know. In my opinion, if you're gonna do something like that, look, if you're a baller and you got money to spend, by all means, congratulations, great. To me, it's all about real estate. I only have so much room in my collection, and I think that anybody's collection who has more than 2 or 3, and 4 is even pushing it. Like when I get the Ghostbusters that are up there from Blitzway into one of these cabinets soon, it just looks so cluttered. That's why I love Art G's collection, because it's just so nice and streamlined and professional looking. And I think that when you put too much, sometimes less is more. You know, you want to focus on the figure and the beauty that goes into the head sculpt and the paint apps, and the clothing on these things are excellent. When you clud them up together, it just looks like another toy. That's just my opinion. These things aren't supposed to be toys. You're going to spend $250 on a hot toy. It's funny, right? Or any, once even an Asmus figure, you should really honor them for the collectible that they are. For them, they're really like museum pieces, and that's just where my head is at. You know, my 2 cents. LOL with the new hat, Black Widow. 1/6 Roseanne, whatever. Yeah, okay, that'll be funny.
What? 1/6 Roseanne?
Yeah. QMX comes to mind. Yeah, they got a lot of really cool variations as well. The Stormtrooper, they came out with a Stormtrooper doily version. It was like the Grandma Viola version of Stormtrooper. There was like the blue doily stuff on it. It's just ridiculous. You know, Stormtrooper porcelain version variant, whatever. I mean, come on, guys. You know. Anyways, sorry, I forgot I have the Christopher Reeve Superman and the Crow 66 Batman and Robin and the Predator and to be Scarface. Yeah, well, those are all great figures, so you can't go wrong with those. Crow, perfect example. I didn't buy the Crow. Crow is a cool movie, great character to have in your collection. It's just a variation. I like seeing things that are different. It's a lot of the same. It's boring. You know, you're really going to have 10 Scarlet Witches in your collection.
Now, that company you were telling me out that put out the Venom figure, what was it called? The Poison?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do they have a Logan figure under a different name?
I think so. I don't know if it's the same company. A lot of these companies are doing like these knockoffy type figures and stuff.
Yeah, if you find that, let me know.
What like post it up like for sale,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
Logan for sale?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good looking Logan too.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyways, that's it. It's 11:30. We went for an hour and a half. This is probably our longest episode ever. I'm glad we had a bunch of people in the room. Remember to invite your friends next time, and let's build this thing back up. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I don't know what we're doing next week. I'm trying to get like an artist or a writer on soon, and more YouTubers. Archie, I'm going to invite back. Eventually, we're going to have the great Nick Knack back on with us, as well as Yay Toys Plus. He'll be joining us again soon. And a lot of other guys. Later, guys. Yes, word up.
Subscribe to the Source Wall with Baz on YouTube.
Yes, plug that shit. Subscribe to the Source Wall. Make sure you like the video. And thanks for joining us.
Rob, watch the Titans, man, if you can, the next few days.
Yeah, no, I'll give you my 2 cents on that next week. See you later, fellas. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Red Cup Review, and we'll hope to see you next week. Peace out. See you later.